So that's it for the third book.
That's it.
That's it for the Harry Potter series.
No, we're going to move on to the fourth book, but that's it for the third one. So
I don't know if the fourth book is... Look.
Hey, you'll get there.
I need to wash this Harry Potter off of me. Please leave.
All right, but y'all see it. I
said go.
I'll see you next week, and we'll do the fourth book, and everything will be great.
We will do no such thing. Oh, I gotta get Harry Potter off me. I'm through with it. I'm through with it. Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I hate children.
And I'm Dalton Gentry, and we're here for the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Grand finale, ultimo, wrap-up, etc. Ultimo. Just in time for the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child release. We've finished the third book.
Para Español.
And we're getting ready for the fourth. And you're excited about it.
Not at all.
Would you like me to recap the final chapter?
The final chapter, yes. And then we'll talk about the final chapter, and then we'll talk about Harry Potter as it stands, the greater in whole. Okay. So far.
Final chapter.
Final chapter.
It's already happening again. Must be a full moon. My redneck's coming out. The final chapter. Outpost again. Turns out Harry Potter's going back to the Dursleys, but he's ready for another year of Hogwarts. That's pretty much it.
Yeah?
That's pretty much it. It's the recap chapter.
The re-chapter.
Yes, that's what J.K. Rowling does.
Recap.
But this time Harry Potter has a godfather who has signed off on his slip to go back to Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
And if the Dursleys do anything bad, his godfather gonna get him.
That was interesting to me, the little threat.
Yes,
there.
Because I want you to know that wanted murder on the TV is my family.
Yeah.
I fuck you up.
Yeah. Don't toy with me.
But no, there's not much to say missing the last chapter. I think the focus here is going to be Harry Potter Year 3 as a whole.
Well, I've got some points here that I'd like to talk about with this final chapter. You know, for all of the talk about Snape, at least he isn't a bumbling bad guy.
Okay.
That the arch professor is normally made out to be, right? It's normally Professor Idiot who is the bad guy.
Okay.
Right? But Snape's smarter than that. He even, in this final quote, or this final chapter, says something about, I had it all figured out. And he did. But we're supposed to not let him know that, right? The greater Harry Potter universe. Dumbledore. Dumbledore? Dumbledore. Now I really can't tell them apart. Dumbledore and what's his name?
Gandalf.
I
hate you so much.
No, I will accidentally mistake that.
Yes. You're going to be reading Lord of the Rings, be like, when Dumbledore came to visit the hobbits.
Well, Dumbledore doesn't even let Snape know that he was right.
Okay.
So, and there's a lot of Dumbledore being sort of prickish in this chapter.
Yes.
Dumbledore is completely flippant about Professor Trelawney.
Yes.
That is very...
He gonna give her a raise because she's finally right.
Right. Then why do you employ her?
I think it's necessary.
Is it necessary?
It's necessary.
If these arts are not real?
Yeah. You have to keep that available for the students who hold that endearing. That is...
It doesn't matter if it's enduring or not to higher education if it doesn't mean anything, if it's not real. Right?
Everything has its place.
No, does it though?
I think so.
If you talk to the president of a college,
okay,
will he say, "Oh, yeah, we've got science and math departments, but we got these English folk over here that really think they're doing work"? Is he going to say that?
We've got the science and math department. Yeah, they're doing great work. We've got the lit department. They're hanging out doing their lit thing. We also have the people who are seeking ministerial degrees.
Well, but the president of that college is not going to talk poorly about that.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Have you ever heard anybody talk positive on a philosophy major?
I think that there is a difference in this, though.
As someone who wanted to go to college as a philosophy major so I could just sit in a corner and muse.
But I don't know that that's the same. Because philosophy is, again, the study of something that has been done.
Okay.
You study Socrates, you study Viktor Frankl, you study all of these people.
We do see, you are right though, a little bit more Dumbledore. And again, we've talked about this many times, this is a complete change from the first Dumbledore we were introduced to.
Yes.
He is no longer the bumbling old fool. He is very wise. He seems to know what's going on. The whole idea with the Time Turner and how Dumbledore somehow just knew how things would work.
Right.
And played it off is perfectly acceptable. So there's a lot more to Dumbledore than meets the eye, in my opinion. And hopefully you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
No? You don't like Dumbledore?
I don't like Dumbledore so far.
What?
He's a character that is willing to undermine the very thing that he stands for.
Okay.
If he is employing Trelawney, he's undermining education, right? If he stands for Trelawney, then he's undermining education. If he undermines Trelawney, he is not standing for education.
Okay.
Right?
But he employed Lupin knowing he was dangerous because he knew he would be a proper educator.
But possibly dangerous.
But he
To
looked past
children.
that.
You can't look past that.
He did look past that, though.
You can't look, and he almost paid for it, did he not?
We are going to
The
find
children
something.
almost paid for it, did they not?
We're going to find something out about another professor that's even more harrowing, who Dumbledore has employed because Dumbledore believes it is for the betterment of the school.
Okay.
That could be as far as book 5 or 6.
I don't know if we're going to get there.
We're going to get there. We're going to make it. So, do you know anything about book 4 at all?
I don't. Is that past this book? Well, I know it's past this book, but are you referencing something in this book?
No, I'm not. I was going to reference some.
I would like to finish the discussion of chapter 22 before we move on to Greater Harry Potter and Greater. The first book, did that or did that not end with Harry Potter in the hospital?
The first book?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it Harry Potter in the hospital? Well, not at the end, but the chapters right before that.
Oh, Harry Potter's in the hospital all the time. Harry Potter, it would have been Philosopher's Stone when he left from dealing with Quirrell. I think he did end up in the hospital wing. Yes.
That was the first book, right?
Yes.
The second book ended with Hermione in the hospital.
And Ginny Weasley as well.
Right. The third book ends with Ron Weasley in the hospital.
Weasley, yes.
Is this going to be a trend?
Oh.
Is this another cut and paste aspect of Harry Potter?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
All 7 books?
No.
8 now?
No. Don't quote me on this because I don't know if anybody ends up in the hospital, per se, in the end of the 4th book.
Yes.
But we're going to be dealing with some damages and death in next year.
Okay. So I'm excited
Let's
for
start
people
killing
to die.
students.
Your father was always a stag when he transformed. Is this Rowling being a sexual deviant again?
I hope so. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Is it? Do you have any thoughts on that?
The stag is often viewed as a sexual creature. If you look at horses, let's look at a horse. There's the educated comment that women are often very attracted to horses in their adolescence. Have you never heard this?
No.
Due to the...
Where did you get this?
I believe it was maybe a sociology class that I took.
Okay.
That women, when they are developing, are attracted to the concept of horses. That's where you get that stereotype cliche, and it's very,
I want a pony.
I want a pony, due to the masculine, overtly sexual physical being of the horse. It is nothing but ripping muscle.
And there is the phrase hung like a horse.
Yes. It's psychological push toward Freudian almost.
I don't know that I can stand by those statements. It
Okay.
makes me a little uncomfortable to have them on the channel.
I'm here to make them very uncomfortable for you. But anyway, no, the horse is seen as a sexual object, an object of...
I wouldn't say sexual object, but a sexualized being.
yes, there you go.
Right? That's why the whole half horse, half man...
Centaurs?
Centaurs. they're just rape machines in mythology.
Oh, and they're coming back.
Really?
Oh, we're going to get plenty of centaurs, and so be it if the centaurs don't rape someone. I've gone off on that tangent before.
You have. The werewolf thing feels a lot like a metaphor for homosexuality in this chapter.
Okay.
It really feels a lot like a metaphor for homosexuality in this chapter.
Now, we did talk about that a little bit in previous weeks. I do have a comment here from, I believe it's pronounced Gina, Jena Felsheim?
How do you spell it?
Felsheim.
It's Felsheim.
Felsheim, who provided us with a link saying that J.K. Rowling came out and said that Lupin's lycanthropy is actually referring to HIV/AIDS. So, how you feel about that? Lupin has AIDS.
Well, when you, okay, I mean, that is not what I would take from it, because if you have HIV/AIDS, you have it all the time, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have HIV/AIDS when you have an outbreak of it.
Well, you have HIV, and I think it's, the transformation is the transformation to AIDS. I think that could be it, because...
See,
No?
I still think with the ideas that previous generations, and some people in this generation still have about homosexuals, that they suffer from their urges, and that these are unnatural, and this is something that you come into, and that children are, because there's a theory that homosexuality happens when there is some type of detrimental episode at a young age that retards the sexual process before the discovery of self transforms to the discovery of other, right? There's that theory out there, and that's what that feels a lot like here.
Okay. That
these children might be in danger with this homosexual predator around, but really he's not a danger. Which is why it was sort of disconcerting to see him transform into the werewolf, and the children are at risk.
Yes. A risk Dumbledore took when he employed him, because he knew about it.
Right.
A risk Snape helped to prevent with the potion. I can't remember the name of the potion, but the potion that would keep him more content.
So, I mean, does that equate to anything? I mean, obviously, you don't have to have a one-for-one translation when you're putting something into literature.
Does it equate to anything? No. I think that's more. It makes Snape a better, in your opinion. That although he hates this man and he does not believe he should be there, by God, he's here to teach these students. I'm going to do what I have to make sure he
protects them. Right.
You and your Snape problems. I do have a comment here. Are you good? Do you still have more recap we'd like to talk a little bit more?
I've got all that. I've got all that. I think another way. So, Harry Potter: The Greater Story.
How do you feel about it?
Well, let's go to your comments. What do you got?
Let's again compare Book 1 and Book 2 and Book 3.
Okay.
This is getting progressively better and better.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
You do not enjoy this one more than you do Book 1?
I enjoyed Book 1 and Book 2 about the same. That's where I think your argument is flawed.
Okay. Now, we're getting ready to unleash J.K. Rowling, the writer. Because she's no longer working for a publisher.
Right, she's no longer restrained by an editor.
That's why her book is 3 times longer.
I've seen the size of Book 4. I've held Book 4.
Yes. But we are going to start getting into letting J.K. Rowling have a little more free reign. Also, the characters are getting older.
Yeah.
So things are going to start changing. We're going to deal with some more heavy topics.
Going to start having feelings.
Now,
might get funny urges.
You're like a 1980s PSA commercial. It's delightful.
This is you. This is also your body.
Bing.
Your body.
Everything has like an overwhelming theme. This is our first venture with the concept of death, the concept of depression, whatnot, throughout this novel.
Right.
We had our Chamber of Secrets theme, we had our Sorcerer's Stone theme, but this is where things start to get progressively darker.
Okay.
The idea of imprisonment, torture, we're starting to get darker, and we are going to get incredibly dark next book. And it's all downhill from here.
Okay.
It just gets worse and worse and worse.
All right.
So that is good for Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, fewer characters means there's less things for me to hate, but there's a lot more words in these next books, so I'm interested to see where it goes.
Okay. Peter Pettigrew as the literal rat.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I was all right with it.
Okay.
That's something that's sort of tongue-in-cheek for children, right? It was interesting to see a character come from previous stories and change into something that he's always been.
Okay.
So,
now, if we ever get to the film versions of these things, I think the actor they chose to play the character of Peter Pettigrew, holy shit, he's perfect.
yeah.
The man looks like a mouse.
Okay.
He genuinely does. And I can't think of his name right now, and I'm very upset about that. And I'm sure somebody's going to comment about it, and I'll be like, all right, thanks. Appreciate it. I'm going to show Adrian a picture now. But a lot of people said the third book is their favorite. Can you say that's...
I think it is certainly the best so far. If it doesn't get better than this, then I don't know if I want to continue reading the series.
I personally think it gets a lot better than this. What
is your favorite book?
The sixth.
The sixth.
The sixth.
Why the sixth? Without spoilers.
Tread delicately. The sixth book is the complete turn. You say there's always a Scooby-Doo villain and a Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
The sixth book is a realistic villain, a realistic ending, and one you don't expect.
Okay.
And it punches you in the face, and it sets the pace for the seventh book. Unlike this, where it seems like an isolated event.
Yeah.
No, the sixth book creates the seventh book.
But not in a gimmicky, to-be-continued way.
Oh, no.
No?
Well, there's a little to be continued with it, because, I mean, obviously, with this change of events, you're going to want to see how it progresses. I think the ending of the sixth book is either going to make you so furious you won't read the seventh book, or so fucking happy that you will have a new favorite literary character.
Okay, you said so furious that you won't read the seventh book.
Yes.
Can I have that option now?
Absolutely not. We're going to get through it.
Okay, so Harry Potter as a grader. I want Harry Potter Go.
Okay. Like Pokemon Go?
Yes.
You know they've announced that, right?
Have they really?
Yes. We're going to play Harry Potter Go together?
Because I imagine that Harry Potter Go is just, you have to walk around and fuck with fat people.
I hate you so much. That's terrible.
That has to be what it is it not?
Well, technically, with the health and nutrition benefits of Pokemon Go and people actually getting out and moving and tracking kilometers, Harry Potter Go may be J.K. Rowling's ultimate plan to get rid of fat people, which would, in her mind, create world peace.
Yeah.
So the Nobel Prize for Miss J.K. Rowling.
No fat people, nobody ruining anything.
But no, they have mentioned Harry Potter Go, so my assumption would be instead of picking a team, like in Pokemon Go, you'd take a quiz, you'd get sorted.
Into a house.
You'd be a Slytherin, I'd be a Ravenclaw, we'd be mortal enemies. I assume you'd go around like dueling people. We're going to get into dueling more next book.
Okay.
No longer are we casting simple spells against creatures. No, we are literally attacking people.
Really?
Yes. So, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
A little more danger, a little more mystique.
Yes. Anything popped up in the comments?
Comments. I wanted this one for a while now. Now, this doesn't really spoil things, so let me tell you about the fourth book. There's going to be something called the Triwizard Tournament, which is an old, long-standing tradition that hasn't happened in many a year.
Okay.
Because, you know, traditions have been put on hold for a while.
Okay.
We are going to have other schools arriving at Hogwarts for a tournament of strength, of valor, etc., testing the students. These other schools coming to a very English school, one is heavily Germanic, and the other is French. So if I may read the comment from Miss Bella Marie Finn, okay, but for real, Triwizard Tournament as post-war fixing international relations and dealing with prejudice against foreigners, particularly Durmstrang who speak with Germanic accents. Anyone?
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a heyday with it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. We also have to look at the element. Voldemort is weakened, right?
Yes.
Voldemort is not directly attacking anyone, right?
We have never actually seen Voldemort yet.
What is happening? So Voldemort is taking agents and employing them.
He's building an army.
Well, hold on. That is not the metaphor I'm going for.
Okay.
So Dumbledore, Gandalf there, He's acting sort of through Harry Potter.
Okay.
Voldemort, in that, was it the first book that Harry Potter met things in the woods?
When he met the centaurs for the first time?
Yeah.
Yes. Unicorn's Blood is the first book.
Yeah, so there's all these Dumbledore meets through Harry Potter, Voldemort's agent, which is sort of like a Cold War. We
Very
can't
much so.
fight Russia. So we give arms to Afghanistan.
Okay.
Right?
Foreign relations and Harry Potter.
Yes. So we've got all these little things. Now, I think the baby boomer generation thing is constantly going to be going on here. This is the big war. It's got the big bad. It's got World War II and Hitler, right? Written all over it.
Okay.
This is... Hold on. No, we've got all the weapons, okay? This is the Slaughter Potter Fest by Voldemort. Right?
Slaughter Potter Fest?
Yeah.
Okay.
He slaughtered all the Potters.
He did slaughter all the Potters.
Lots of big secret weapons popped up during that era. Submarines and radar, invisibility cloaks in the Mars map. But I'm wondering where the atom bomb is. Is there some bigger weapon that comes up later?
In the next book, we will be introduced to what is considered basically illegal spells. Spells that are not used, spells that are only reserved for wartime.
Really?
And are now illegal.
You're not allowed to have atom bombs.
One of which is called the Killing Curse. No fucking around, you kill someone. That's all it does. Instant death.
Sounds a lot like an atom bomb.
Just saying. It even starts with an A, the name of the curse too, and that just delightful.
What is it called?
Avada Kedavra. Kedavra? Avada Kedavra.
Okay. Something else that the baby boomer generation had to deal with was integration while racism was still every bit as socially accepted as ever. Right?
Okay, yes.
You have to deal with blacks in white schools, whites in black areas. Muggles and mudbloods are integrated at Hogwarts, but no one has to hide their distaste for them.
All right.
Right? And who is it that's doing a lot of this discrimination? The white
purists.
supremacists.
Yes. I can't disagree with you at all.
Okay.
That World War II reference is brilliant. I really think Bella Marie Finn really hit it on the head with that. I liked that. I'm going to hope you're going to play off that a lot.
Well, it's less a World War II reference than it is a generation reference.
There is a generational reference.
Well, not just generational, but that generation. Mm-hmm. Right?
Now, these curses, I think, you're just going to have a heyday with.
Okay.
Because there are others used to torture, others that are used to pry the truth from people.
Wow.
So
torture, that sounds a lot like chemical warfare, which was banned after World War II, right?
And all these curses are banned. They're only utilized by the bad guys.
Wow.
So, there has been a few other comments that I think we need to mention. I'm not going to tell you what you said, but at one video you dropped a bomb and hit the nail on the head, and it was beautiful. You figured out a major, major revealing secret of the 7th book.
Okay.
6th book. 6th book. There has been the occasional comment of, has Adrian actually read Harry Potter?
I promise to anything that anyone finds holy. Look, I'm having a rough time getting through these for the first time. There's no fucking chance I'm going through these twice.
We really are doing everything we can to keep Adrian from being spoiled.
Right. No movies yet?
No movies, no comments, nothing. I went and read Cursed Child. I went to the midnight release for Cursed Child. I didn't take him with me, just in case somebody was like, oh, let me drop this spoiler here. I wonder what happens.
Right.
We are keeping him in the dark as much as we can. And honestly, I was surprised as hell when he came up with this one as well. But it was good.
Yeah, this is what I like to do, is to read things and extrapolate.
Yes.
So the fact that if I came across something that eventually ends up being true is because it's really in there, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps, and see, I think that it's difficult, again, if you have read these things before, to look at this and say, oh, well, he hasn't read this before, because you know what's going on. And if I come across something that is revealed later, I'm a 30-year-old man reading these books. It's not exactly a fair fight because you were a 6-year-old when you had them read to you. Sure, you didn't see them coming, right? I am interested to see what that is, and I hope that you remember this one. 6th book, you said?
Oh, it's 6th book, yes.
I hope you remember this when we get to the 6th book.
I'm sure I will, because it's a major point. Major.
Now I'm trying to think of all the things that... I've been right more than once.
More than once, but this is... You've been right about, you know, oh, this happens, yeah, you got it, good job.
Right. This guy's the bad guy, yeah.
Yes. No, this was one that no one...
This was a shit kicker.
This was a shit kicker.
No.
This was a shit kicker.
And I've already got it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I've said that could be that far in the future.
Is it the 6th or the 7th book? I think it's the 6th. Maybe it's the 7th. It could be. No, it is the 7th. It is the 7th book. Because part of this was the marketing campaign for the book.
What?
Yes. Is it this way or is it this way? That was the marketing campaign, and Adrian came out and said, this way, book 3.
Well, I guess, you know, I think that for readers of this series should be comforting. That there are actually things in this novel that I'm assuming it's so hard to talk about this without knowing what it was that I said.
Yes.
But I'm assuming that if this is a plot point, it has to do with characters. If the characters are that real that they can be read books in advance, that is for me to laud J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
As opposed to the trash talk I usually do.
There you go. We have promise.
Yeah.
So we are going to start Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. We're going to deal with the Triwizard Tournament, a big deal. We're going to be introduced to other schools. I think... Nope, we will. We will be introduced to Death Eaters.
Death Eaters?
Death Eaters are Voldemort's followers.
Does that bring people back to life?
Nope. Okay. Those are the dark cultists in the dark robes who are going around killing people and killing the Mudbloods for fun.
Well, that sounds like a Life Eater, not a Death Eater.
It's a Death Eater. That's the name.
Okay.
So, anyway, we will be back with Adrian reads Harry Potter in the Goblet of Fire, Year 4. If you want to follow us along for this journey, because we're going to get through all of them, and we're going to get through the Cursed Child now, so we're just adding more to the end.
No. Here's something I want to ask.
Okay.
Real quick. So, George Lucas ended up admitting that Star Wars was a bigger universe than he could ever provide for.
Okay.
And he ended up saying, okay, this writer here, you can write this book about the bounty hunters.
Okay.
You over there, you can write this book about Han Solo. You over there, you can write this book about Grand Moff Tarkin. I wonder if that's where the Harry Potter universe is going to go. J.K.
Rowling came out and said Harry Potter's done. Now, this Cursed Child was a play written by someone else, but she approved the story.
Okay.
I think Harry Potter's done. Is the Harry Potter universe done? Absolutely not. J.K. Rowling's going to write more.
So you think J.K. Rowling is going to write those books, not license them off to other people?
And she may let somebody else dabble with Livermore or whatever, but no. She's going to keep writing.
Okay.
I think so. Okay. But anyway, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join us for more Adrian Reads Harry Potter. Give this video a like as well. This is the grand finale ultimo, the whole shebang.
Follow us on Twitter @StripCover, on Facebook @StripCoverLit, on Instagram @StripCoverLit. StripCoverLit?
StripCoverLit.
StripCoverLit.